Wagyu Gaming. Hey there, broskies. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So Wagyu here and back with another Kingdom of Heroes Tactics War video. So today we're going to be talking about all about runes, all about what features you can do and what you can change in your runes. Because I'm sure that the biggest thing about this game is not just the characters, it's all about the runes. And like, if you have good characters but you don't have good runes, your characters will be rendered useless still. So basically this is the main aspect of the game where the grinding is actually at. But before we begin, let me give you guys an update on the list of videos I gave of what's upcoming for you guys. So regarding the Fafnir B11, so let me just give you an update so before we begin the whole thing. So for the Fafnir B11, I realized that what I was doing is actually quite not F2P. So I was able to do it. Okay, let's be clear here. I was able to do it. So this was the lineup I brought with me. Mary, Charlotte, and Thea. So this was the lineup I brought, but you know, yeah, it might look very F2P superficially, but when you check the runes are not very F2P. You're going to need to get these runes before you can actually do this. So you know, I was thinking that what's the point of giving you guys a Fafnir B11 team with units that already have good runes? So I'm like, yeah, I'm not really sure about this being very F2P. But you know, if you guys still want to see this, do let me know in the comment section below. I'd gladly give you the video on it. But yeah, it's not very F2P, so I don't think I can call it an F2P team. However, I can call it a more viable, friendly team, like more affordable team than just Ingwe. But yeah, I highly suggest that if you just want to clear Fafnir B11, go with Ingwe. It makes things so much easier. Having this kind of team takes a lot of grinding, takes a lot of... Yeah, it's not F2P, it's not friendly at all. But yeah, if you guys want to see it, I'd gladly upload it. But yeah, just to let you guys know what's happening. So, going back to our main video for today, we're going to be talking about the runes. So, let's go to the rune system. So what are runes in this game? So basically, this is your equipment. So these give you stats. So as you can see, these are my Esperanza's runes. And you might be a little bit confused on what these are. So if you guys are relatively new to these kinds of games, so these are things that I've changed on my runes. So you can see this here in the upgrade. So you have the option to craft and reforge. We'll be talking more about it later. But we'll start first with the basics on runing your unit. So how should you rune your unit? So what I would suggest, if you're very new to the game, you're relatively new to the game, and you haven't had much experience of these types of games, what you can do is just check the review, and there are actually pretty good runes here that they give you, they suggest to you, here on the left. So these are in-game runes that have been suggested for the... I mean, these are end-game suggestions, like these aren't brought to us by users, but from the devs themselves. So these are very good suggestions, I'd say. Alongside this, you can actually read through some of the comments here. A lot of these comments are actually pretty good. So yeah, just work on it, like work around it, just to give you like a basic option of how to rune your unit. So these are the top runes that people actually use on Esperanza. So yeah, just an FYI for you guys in case you haven't seen this. It's actually in the details button here down below. But yeah, I would suggest just checking out that. So when I began the game, that's how I started runing my units until I eventually realized I can do a lot more than just that. And you'll get there, but that's a very good starting point for you guys to do, okay? So next we'll talk about the runes and what stats you can get for each rune, because I think that's a little bit confusing for newer players. So anyway, for slot 1, so this is slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So for slot 1, the only thing you can get here as your main stat is your attack. Attack plus 260, that's your highest thing you can get, and it's a flat attack and nothing else. Okay, so when you do have a flat attack as your main stat, you can't get any flat attack on your substat, but you can still get percentage attack on your substats. Okay, so yeah, that's it for slot 1. It's not that hard, it's just plain attack. However, for slot 2, it's a bit more different. So for slot 2, you can get a lot of things here. So I actually listed it down. So let me go through my list, so just to be sure and safe. So for slot 2, you can get attack percentage, HP percentage, def percentage, crit percentage, crit damage percentage, and all flat stats like HP, def, and attack. You can get any of those, okay? So that's for slot 2. However, whatever main stat you have here, so for example, you get crit damage, you can't get any crit damage for your substats, okay? So do take note of that. So if you get HP percentage here, you can't get HP percentage on your substat. If you get flat HP here, you can't get flat HP on your substats, okay? So just to be clear, so if you have whatever your main stat is, you can't get any substats of the same kind, okay? So yeah, that's for slot 2. So if you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below. So for slot 3, this will always be a def flat plus, okay? So it's not a def percentage plus. So again, whatever your main stat is, you can't have it. So for this one, you can't have def as your substat, okay? But everything else you can get from attack, from defense, from speed, from crit damage, from resistance to accuracy, and everything else, okay? Next is for slot 4, this one you can get. I still listed this down. It's not as confusing as slot 2. So for slot 4, you can possibly get speed, as you can see here, attack percentage, defense percentage, and HP percentage. So any of those you can get, and all of the flat stats equivalent, like for example def, HP, and attack, you can also get it from here. So yeah, and basically whatever main stat you have, you can't get as your substat as well. So yeah, as always. So that's it for slot 4. Yeah, slot 4. So slot 5 is basically an HP plus rune. So that's it for this. No other substitute. The only thing you can get here is HP plus, flat HP plus. Again, no substat for HP plus here. So last but not the least is slot 6. So for slot 6, it's also there's also a lot you can get here. So again, you can get HP percent, HP flat, attack percent, attack flat, defense percent, and defense flat, and accuracy and resistance. So this is the only rune that can get accuracy and resistance. Again, whatever main stat you have, you can't get as your substats, okay? So let's talk about rune sets next. As you can see here, I get 2 rune sets. So there are different rune sets. Like there are some rune sets that require 4, like for example the vampire one. So you need 4 of these to actually activate the set effect. So you get to see here in the lower section like 4 sets. So recovers HP on attack. So you need 4 of them to enable this skill effect, and some of them needs 2, like for example this one, the havoc rune. So 2 set, it says here, it gives you crit rate plus 12%. So basically life, havoc, and prophet, I'll discuss prophet later since it's part of the sealed armory. So there are different ways to get these runes and where to farm them, so we'll also talk about that. So yeah, so from life, charge, havoc, swift, and vampire, you can farm these out on the Fafnir B11. So yeah, as we were talking about it just a while ago or earlier in the intro. So yeah, these runes can be farmed in Fafnir B11. So life has a 2 set that you can get, so as you can see here, and for charge it's a 4 set. So for life, obviously it gives you HP plus 15%, plus 20%. That was in energy rune. And yeah, so for charge you can get attack plus 35%, so it's a 4 set. For havoc, you get crit rate plus 12%, 2 set. Swift, you get a speed plus 25%, so it's a 4 set. So a lot of my units are actually on swift. And for vampire, you get lifesteal, recovers HP on attack, and that's a 4 set, okay? So for the sealed armory runes, so those were the Fafnir B11 runes. So for the sealed armory runes, so these are the prophet, stone skin, resistance, and revenge, and earthquake, okay? So for the explosion, we'll save that for last. And let's start with, so you get these runes in sealed armory, and I also have a video on that, farming sealed armory B11 for a little bit kind of like a speed team, but it's not really that fast. It's like around 1 minute and 40. But yeah, pretty good team still. So basically what you can get from the sealed armory is prophet, which gives you accuracy plus 20%. So it's a 2 set. Stone skin, which gives you defense plus 15%, which is also a 2 set. Resistance, which is a 2 set rune that gives you resistance plus 20%. So revenge, it's for counter-attacking, plus 15%. And for earthquake, this is for stunning your enemy, and it's a 4 set. So yeah, it gives you a chance to stun your enemy by 25%. Okay, so some of the popular questions here is what is resistance for? Okay, so resistance is to resist the debuffs that your enemies will cast on you, and yeah, so basically it's to avoid getting debuffs. So basically, I think that's the only confusing rune here out of all of these. So if you guys have any questions on what the effects are, do let me know in the comment section below. I'll gladly answer you guys. So yeah. Last but not the least, we'll talk about the explosion. This is actually one of the more OP runes. I accidentally sold a lot of my explosion runes, so I'm kind of sad right now. Just when I was checking this, oh my gosh, I lost them. But anyway, so without further ado, to get these runes, you actually need to beat the Altar Realm in higher stages. So even in lower stages, you get lower points. You can still get these, but you're not going to be getting the best ones. I got C+ in one of my runs, and I got some of the legendary runes, as you can see here. Oh, these are actually, yeah, pretty good runes. This one especially, crit rate plus 7%, and it's a 6-star rune. So I got this one from my runs there. So yeah, you get the explosion rune in the Altar Realm. So you have different runes here. So the set effect for this one, it's a 4 set. It's a crit damage plus 45%. So basically, endgame players actually try to aim for higher crit damage. As you can see here, even I myself am aiming for higher crit damage. Okay, so yeah, that's it for the basics of runes. And as always, again, if you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below. So we've already discussed how you should build your unit. Again, just a little bit more of tip on that. I would highly suggest that you build your units based on their strength. Like for example, Esperanza already has a high crit rate, so high base crit rate due to her skill, which is this one, so it gives you a 30% crit rate increase at level 6. I think it's only at around 15% when it's at level 1. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I am assuming it's at 15%. So basically her crit rate is already at 25% without any rune, so I basically built her up for crit damage alongside attack. So I highly suggest building your units based on their strength and not to cover their weaknesses. Of course, if you have the option to cover their weakness, go ahead and do so, but don't make it your priority to cover for their weakness. So yeah, again, the best thing you can do if you're just starting out is to check the review on how to build your unit. So without let's proceed to rune crafting option and reforge. So before we begin, let me show you guys this so it doesn't get confusing. Let me show you guys this craft option here. So this is different from what we're doing. However, you can also get runes here, and I don't suggest as of now doing this, especially if you're just starting out the game. So it's a little bit high on the requirement side. So this is mostly for end game players, like people who can beat Fafnir B11 easily, Seal Armory B11 easily. Yeah, these are for those people. So this is different from what we're going to be talking about based on the rune crafting and reforge. Okay. However, we'll be visiting this again in a bit based on the reforge area of the game. So yeah, we'll talk about it in a bit. So going back to the rune system. So as you can see, when you click one of the runes and click upgrade, you actually get to see the craft and reforge option. Okay, so the craft option is basically to amplify or transmute. So meaning, if you have an amplification stone, let me look for a rune that has an amplification stone. So, oh, sorry. I've actually already checked this out and reviewed before showing you guys, so I know which unit. So this one, Frid. So I'm not really sure how to say it still, but yeah, I'm saying it as Frid, since Frit or something like that. But anyway, let me show you guys. So when I click upgrade here, so craft, as you can see here, I have the option to amplify one of my runes. So let's use this one. I have a really good rune here. So this rune is actually pretty OP. I got it. Majority of my stats landed on attack and some landed on speed. But yeah, I can't complain. So basically, if I click on attack, so basically I can upgrade my attack by +1 to 4% based on RNG. I can't pick. So my attack from 20% will get from 21 to 24%. Okay, so that's basically what it does. They amplify one. The transmute one is you can change a rune, a stat that you want. However, you can't use it. Like for example, I already have accuracy and speed here. So if I try to change crit damage, I can't use it since it's already here. Okay, so it's speed and accuracy are already here, so I can't use that. So let's look for a rune that doesn't have accuracy or speed. Yeah, this one. We can try this out. So As you can see here, like if I click this, oh, this is a Havoc rune. Apologies. I need a. This already has accuracy. Dang, these are nice runes. Oh, I got perfect. I got the perfect explosion runes. But anyway, let's look for another rune that we can. Let's talk about my Esperanza instead, since I actually already did my Esperanza on this. Okay, so for example, this one, as you can see, it has an up and it has the circle thing, which means I've changed it. So initially, this stat was a resistance. This was a really unlucky roll, somewhat. So this is a legend rune. I think this one is a heroic rune. So 2 of my stat ups went to resistance and 1 went to HP, and none of it went to crit rate or attack percent. But I was like, oh my gosh. But anyway, so I changed the resistance stat from resistance plus 20, I believe, to attack plus 16, since I don't really need resistance for Esperanza as of now. So I'm sure I'm going to be needing resistance eventually, but yeah, as of now I don't need it, so I'm changing it to attack plus 16. So basically that's what it does. It changes a specific stat into what you want, but you need stones for it. So I guess the next question that we should answer is, where do you get those stones? Okay, so to get those stones, this is when we kind of go back to the craft area. So first of all, the main source of these stones, so the gems, is from the Altar Realm. But whenever you already have the mats for it, but the mats you're going to be needing is still the gems themselves. So for example, this one. Okay, so I'm going to add that here. Where I got this is from the Altar Realm. They drop randomly. As of now, I don't know any other area that you can get this. But yeah, so the Altar Realm is your initial source for the gems, and you can eventually start crafting them and upgrading them up to expert. Okay, so same situation for the this one, the transmuting gem. So this one is the amplifying gem, and then this one is the transmuting gem. Okay, so majority of these, the mats you need here are going to be dropped in the Altar Realm, except for the ancient dust. I believe, yeah, it's in the rune dungeon 9th floor and up. So yeah, those are where you get these. Okay, so next we're going to be talking about the reforging. So reforging is basically changing your whole stats, changing the whole stats of your unit. So for example, this one, I'm not really into this. This is actually a bottleneck for my Esperanza. So my Esperanza has pretty good runes, and as of now, this is I have plus 15 this rune. As you can see, this is crit damage plus 72%, and that's quite a lot, and that takes a lot of investment to do that. So basically, it's rare to get a 6-star crit damage rune, so that's why I had to plus 15 this in order to max this out. But yeah, so now I have the option to actually change this. So in Reforge, so I can change the substats that I have, and let's do one so you guys get to see. Since this one isn't very complicated, it's just very easy to do this. So let's do one so you guys get to see, since I'm planning to change this anyway. So let's do a Reforge. So next question would be, where do you get the gold dust? What should I keep? So basically the upgrades fell from these two. I think I have better current stats actually. Although this has speed, I don't need accuracy though. Let's keep the... So it's RNG. It's very RNG. So it's very random. You don't know what you're gonna get. And I guess the next question would be, where can you get these gold Reforge Dust? Okay, so let's talk about that as well. So basically, where you can get the gold Reforge Dust. Currently, there's an event going. So this is actually where I got majority of my Reforge Dust. And that's why I made this video. I decided to make this video since I actually got a lot today. And I was pretty happy about it. So the treasure hunt event. So this one. You actually get the Reforge Dust here. Alongside this, you actually have the option to... Oh, not the request. In the craft section. So you can actually get it here in the special and craft dust. You can craft 2 times weekly, so which is a total of 20 Reforge Dust. But the requirements again are quite high if you don't know how to do Altar Realm yet. And currently, if you guys are curious about what's happening between me and Altar Realm, we're not having a very good relationship right now. I'm not doing very well in it. I'm still trying to practice my strategy. So yeah, I need a bit of time and more units to actually beat it. But anyway, so as you can see here, Tome of the Altar Realm, the main source is of course the Altar Realm. So yeah, and that's it. So if you do have any questions, as always, do let me know in the comment section below. I'm always going to be open to you guys and going to try to answer as much as I can. But you know, it's been a busy week for me since my city has already opened up and I'm quite busy going around. So I'll try to answer as much as I can and as often as I can. But as of now, the most probable time I'm going to be replying to your messages will be 6 p.m. GMT plus 8. Okay, so that's it for this video. So thank you so much for tuning in. As always, do leave a like if you like this video, if it has helped you in any way, and do consider subscribing if you are new to the channel and you've enjoyed this content. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in and see you in the next video.